Hello, good day, everybody. This is your host, Club Brother, the Club House Sports Report, live right here in Leesburg, Virginia. That is today, ladies and gentlemen. I'll talk to you guys about the tragic news. Johnny Majors has been deceased. That is legendary Tennessee football coach. That is he has been deceased. He's been pronounced deceased. The time I'll talk to you guys about the fact that Amon Ogun Bamiga, he tested positive for the coronavirus after attending a protest in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'll talk to you guys about the fact the proposed date for the Game 7 of the NBA Finals will be October. It's October 12th. I will talk to you guys also about the fact that Minnesota, the three other Minnesota cops that played their role in George Floyd's murder, they have been charged. So that's all I'm gonna have for that. And also James Dolan sending a memo saying they condemn racism. That saying that we don't condone racism. We do not condone racism. And we condemn racism. By the way, and the NFL's decision that's going to have teams hold training camps at the summer, their practice facilities due to the coronavirus issue. I'm gonna get you guys into that. And the Sacramento Kings play-by-play announcer Grant Napear, he steps down from a after getting backlash from a tweet he's by saying all lives matter, which they do not. So that's all the news I'm gonna have for that. And the NBA approves a plan to they approve a plan to have a 22 game to have 22 game season, a 22 team format with 8 regular season games. So I'm gonna get you guys to that. But I'm gonna start things off with the tragic news that legendary Tennessee football coach Johnny Majors has been deceased at 85. He also guided Pitt to an unbeaten season back in '76. He also, however, coached for Iowa State, coached for Pittsburgh, and he coached for Tennessee, by the way. And it's really sad that coach like this will be deceased at just an age. It's just not right at all. I can tell you that right now. So obviously, it's really sad that Johnny Majors was being deceased at just 85. He went to the hall. He went to the hall. He was a former Tennessee Football Hall of Famer, by the way, and obviously, you know, things weren't looking good. Things were looking good. He led Pittsburgh to a tied national title back in '76. He was head coach at Pittsburgh, Iowa, and Tennessee back in '68 to 96. He led. Yeah, he also had an incredible single win wing back for the Vols from 1953 to 56. All-American honors, finishing second in Heisman voting back in '56. 549 yards, 7 touchdowns, passed for 552 yards, 5 touchdowns that season. He led the Volunteers to a 10-1 record and winning an SEC title. He also led Tennessee to 187-62 10 season, or 116 to 62 to 8 record. That is, by the way, absolutely impressive. So my thoughts and prayers go out to Tennessee football due to the loss of Johnny Majors. Johnny Majors' family members, all of his fans, all of his viewers of this huge loss, and it's just heartbreaking though. So keep them and keep Tennessee football and everyone else that your prayers, everybody on that. So that's all I got for that, everybody. And other news that Amon Angbang Bamiga, he tested positive for the coronavirus after attending a Tulsa protest, that is over the death toll of George Floyd, by the way. So hopefully he should be in good spirits by now. Hopefully he'll be in good spirits. He's trying to take some precautions, take care of yourself, and he just says take care of yourself, just stay safe. That's all there's to it, just for that. And hopefully get some quarantines, what he has to do. Also, in other news that Sacramento Kings, a play-by-play announcer by the name of Grant Napear, he steps down after getting backlash by tweeting "All Lives Matter." He would apologize for that derogative tweet. He apologized for that tweet, that is, and he says that I'm not educated as everyone else is, not educated as everyone else, and basically that did not sit with anyone else. He basically was a comment on the "I'm not educated on the Black Lives Matters I thought I was." He apologized, says I had no idea what I said. All Lives Matter, that was counter to what Black Lives Matter was trying to get across. He's 60, and that's still a lot to learn. So he made himself so basically Grant Napier looked like a piece. He made himself look like a piece of trash, and they got him kicked out. So not a good look there. So never tweet "All Lives Matter." Just use "Black Lives Matter." That's all you have to use. So this is all in the wake of George Floyd's death toll, that is, and obviously, people are in disgust. People are, still rioting and protesting, and they can have peaceful protests as long as they're not looting or protesting on violent. That is, then the big issue there. This is over George Floyd's death toll, by the way, which is pretty much ongoing. I can tell you that. So that is pretty much all you got to know for that. Also, some other news that the NBA they're going to approve a 22 team return with eight regular season games. Now says right here that the plan is going to have 13 Western Conference teams, 9 Eastern Conference teams, eight regular season games, a playing tournament for the 8th seed, and the playoffs. 16 teams in the Eastern and Western conferences are going to be joined by teams within 6 games of 8th place in the 2 conferences. Now, teams are going to be training at team sites in July, next month, that is, and advance to full training camps in Orlando later that month. Now, they're going to be discussing this by tomorrow, that is, and if it's approved, that is how it's going to be right there. So the NBA is also going to be planning to have uniform daily testing for the coronavirus within the Disney campus environment. Now, if players are responsible for the coronavirus, the NBA would have to remove that player from the team to quarantine and treat individually. But if they come out negative, they can still play. If they come out negative, they can play. So that is pretty much all. That's going to be stored, and hopefully more deals can emerge by tomorrow. That is, to the very least, and that pretty much says it right there. Now the NBA, they did propose the proposed date for a Game 7 of the NBA Finals was October 12th. That is, and if that's official by tomorrow, and that's how it is. So say what you want, everybody, but it changed everything. Making them think about that. And others, I want to point out, the NFL is deciding that teams can hold training camps this summer at their practice facilities due to the coronavirus saga. They intend to announce that plan along with a tentative start to camps in late July. The NFL and NFLPA need to keep teams at home because they're going to be limiting travel and risk associated with maintaining 2 facilities at once. So it's very unclear whether that's going to be coming to play or not. And it's also uncertain when the NFL is going to be starting. I mean, they're supposed to be starting around September, but apparently they may have to get tested for sure whenever the season even starts. So obvious without fans, by the way. So that could come into play for sure. I will say that for sure. And also some other news that James Dolan sent a memo. He sent in a memo, that is, to MSG employees saying that we condemn racism. We condemn racism. It's not allowed in our society. We're not going to have it. We're not going to talk. Look, the Knicks right now are a complete mess. And I know there's protests going on in there, and I know people are not having it for sure. But James Stone sent a memo to embassy employees saying that we don't condone, no, we do not condone, we condemn racism, by the way, and we do not tolerate racism. So this comes in after the heels of George Floyd being deceased by four cops. That is, by the way, I'll get you guys to that for sure. The latest on that. When George Floyd was being deceased by four cops in Minnesota, they all released. One of them was arrested and charged. The other three cops were charged as well, but they clearly haven't been. But they may get arrested pretty soon. I can tell you that right now. So now Derek Chauvin, he faces now a second-degree murder charge, and to look good there. So what does that say? Well, it's a lot. I can say so. All black lives, they do matter, and hopefully, we're just coming together, have a voice, and just use it while you're at it. So just be positive for once. And also some other news I want to address. By the way, the three other release cops that were involved in George Floyd's murder, they have now been charged. Those three Minnesota release cops, they have now been charged, and they for their roles of George Floyd's murder. And those three other cops that were released and charged would be Tu Theo, Thomas Lane, J. Alexander Kuang. Now, in fact, they're convicted of these charges. Well, if in fact they're convicted, they will get jail time for good, and they may get arrested pretty soon though. So basically, that's going to happen for sure. I will say that. And look, we cannot have police brutality going on and on. I mean, of cops attacking black individuals for no apparent reason. That's just something you just can't do. I mean, you saw a Louisville man gets attacked for no apparent reason, and then a retired cop gets attacked and deceased by looters while pretending a friend's pawn shop. He's deceased. It was a cop, by the way, though. But it's just really, guys, we just gotta at least come together, all right? There has to be a change. There needs to be a sense of urgency. There needs to be a sense of some integrity. There needs to be some poetic justice. The only way to do that is by ending racial injustice and by ending racism for once, and police brutality. And it really has to dissolve. We've seen what happened to black a two black couple, and six officers were arrested for tasering those two black individuals. A two black couple. Those six officers will be charged in Atlanta, and they're responsible for tasering them. By the way, and those six officers in Atlanta were arrested and charged. By the way, I will say that. And really, it's got to dissolve. Like, what does 2020 come down to? Really, there needs to be some other way that's going to dissolve all police brutality of them attacking black individuals, whatever race or gender you are, black, white, Asian, Caucasian, Mexican. But really, people need to look. We're equal. We're one. I mean, stuff segregation used to be from like 80 years ago, and now it's just like nothing's ever the same. You know, I mean, 2020 is no different from last year. I can tell you that 2020 is twice as worse because you got two crises that are just occurring, and you had the coronavirus saga that's occurred, already did, and then you got this like social injustice, racial injustice, by the way, when back Memorial Day last week, when you had George Floyd, who was assaulted by four cops in Minnesota that were released, arrested, and charged, it needs to end. And it sickens me to say that there needs to be change. There needs to be a resolution that's going to end police brutality forever. That's going to wipe out police brutality forever. I mean, for them assassinating black individuals, whether you're male or female, what age you are, but it needs to end because really, black lives matter. That's what matters the most. And change, we got to make change. There needs to be a resolution to all of it. There has to be. So now, it's hopefully that comes into effect. Another news I actually want to get into, by the way, that Hulk Hogan and Linda Hogan, they have been removed from AEW shows because even though Hulk Hogan used a racial slur that didn't surprise much anybody. Well, he used the N word, by the way, and that did not look good on this part. And then Linda Hogan, she uses a derogative tweet, a racial tweet, and that got kicked out. And Tony Khan said, "Congrats, you just joined your ex-husband, but been kicked off AEW shows." So really, racism, there is no place for racism at all. It's not. All right. There's no racism in the clothing house of a sports report. There's no room for racism in the sports industry. There's no racism anywhere. All right. We're all equals. And we need to make a difference because it has been months of all these heinous scenes, and the fact is all these disasters that have occurred. It just really takes me off a bit, and I'm just ashamed right now. And honestly, there has to be order restored on also all over the country and all over the globe, because it's a shame that this side country is really just at its crosshairs now. It's really it's just split apart now. I mean, you got cops kneeling. You had cops kneeling down. You had, cops signing with protesters, and I mean, they're in riot gear. They took out the riot gear, and they want to be in the protest. They want to end, cops assassinating black individuals. They want to end that for sure, because it's getting worse and worse, and it really needs to end. And I gotta say that I hope that cops are not gonna attack black individuals for no apparent reason. I hope that ends. We've seen what happened to Ahmaud Arbery. We've seen what happened with Breonna Taylor. We've seen what happened to George Floyd, that is, and all the others. But really, it needs to end. And all you gotta do is sign the petition of change.org. Just sign the petition and make that change. Be part of the change. That's gonna end racism. That's gonna end police brutality. That's gonna end, so racial injustice. That's all there is to it. So hopefully, you guys just stay, play your part, and just be part of the change. Because Black lives, they always matter. They always have. They always will. So that's my message right there. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it right there for the Clothing Level Sports Report. And please be sure you always like to subscribe to the Clothing Level Sports Report YouTube channel and Facebook page by all means necessary. Please be sure you send your thoughts and prayers out to Johnny Major's family members, to Tennessee football over the loss of Johnny Major, who just died earlier today. All of his fans, all of his viewers, all subscribe to this horrific loss. So keep me in your prayers, everybody. Keep them in your prayers, everybody, on that. Tell me what you think of what your extra thoughts are of the NBA gonna have a 22 team that's gonna have 8 regular season games, and what you think of a game 7 in the NBA Finals gonna be happening October 12th. Let me know by the comments what your extra thoughts about that are. I will definitely address and respond to that. Be sure to send me your comments with your extra thoughts on your thoughts and prayers out to Eamon Bamiga, that is tested positive for the coronavirus after attending the Tulsa, Oklahoma protests. So please let me know in the comments what your extra thoughts are. Send me thoughts and prayers down below in the comment section for him, by the way. Wish him speedy recovery. Send me tweet your thoughts, your comments on what repercussions that the three other Minnesota cops that are charged, by the way. What repercussions do you think they're going to face? If you think they're going to be convicted, you think they're going to be, prosecuted, if you think they're going to be sentenced, please let me know in the comment section. I'll definitely address a response to everybody on that. And what's your thoughts on Grant Napear getting backlash from a derogative tweet saying all lives matter, which they do not. So let me know about that in the comment section. I will definitely respond and address to that for sure. And I'm back more breaking news, trending topics, live updates on storylines, and a whole lot more than Clubhouse Sports with all things sports related and covering the George Floyd's death toll memorial and the rising protests, racial justice. So please come in the comment section about that. I'll definitely respond to that. That's all I got for today, buddy. And please be safe. So take care, and we're all equals one. So that's all I gotta say. So take care, you guys. You guys have a good evening. Please be safe. All Black Lives Matter. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.